Did Super Dragons receive the most unnecessary buff of all time? They finished 4th and 7th in Legends League last season, and with the Root Rider nerf and the addition of the Overgrowth spell, they're set to dominate. In today's video, we're going to be using Super Dragons with 2 Overgrowth spell, and I'm going to show you how effective it is. But before we get into the attack, I'm going to explain this, because I am using the Overgrowth spell on the core of the base, which is not a very smart thing to do. Generally, what you should do on box bases is use 1 Overgrowth spell like this for each scatter comp, get all that, and then come from the back end, and everything's going to funnel into the center of the base. But when that approach struggles is when there's 2 sweepers in the core of the base like this that wouldn't be tangled up in the Overgrowth spell, because then you're fighting 2 sweepers and that can be a problem. So I decided to try something different here. I don't know if it's better than doing the approach I just mentioned, but I'm just here to give you options today. Now you're going to see the strength and weakness of this. The biggest strength is that Rage Tower, the Eagle, is not going to be anywhere near as valuable. The weakness, well, you'll see my Super Dragons are going to split a bunch of different ways, but that's why I'm going to come in with the Stone Slammer here. Now with Super Dragons, 9 times out of 10 you do want to use the Flame Flinger just to get any value or to set a funnel, either or. But on this, there was no Flame Flinger value. You see all of those corner expos, so I decided to come in like this. Now the Overgrowth spell ends perfectly, but I don't want to use it on the core of the base again, because I want my Super Dragons whilst they're there to target it. So I use it on the back end of the base, and that means look at my Super Drag dealing with the core multi-inferno here. It would have been under multi-archer tower and scattershot fire, but now it is chilling in the core of the base, doing a great job. My King and Queen got rid of the Town Hall, that's why I didn't need to blimp it. They could deal with it on the outside, and now I'm going to reinforce with the Royal Champion, and we've got a massive hero push on the left side. I am bringing the Phoenix with the Warden just because I want the E-Dragons to get more shots off, kind of like Super Dragons to get more shots off like you do with E-Dragons, but honestly, with the new levels to the Owl, maybe the Owl will be better, and then you use the Phoenix on the King. I still do like the Frosty on the King though. RC ability goes off here. We are running the Seeking Shield and the Haste Vial. I think this is quite obviously the best combination for this army, but we'll see throughout today's video, and you can make up your mind at the end, because I know a lot of people love the Royal Gem. I'm not as big a fan of it, but you definitely saw the value of the what was it, the Seeking Shield and the Haste Vial there. But let's get into the next one. This attack goes horrifically, which is the exact reason why it's in this video, to show you that even if you don't really know what you're doing with the Overgrowth spells, you can still get some 3 stars with the army. Now, I'm going to say this. I do like the Overgrowth spell, but I don't know if it's going to be used that much in Legends League. It is really handy with the Super Drags here. By the way, notice I forgot to put down my Giant, so my poor Flame Flinger gets wrecked here, and then a Mini Bomb's going to go off in a second. Yeah, not my finest hour there. But as I was saying, it's really hard to come up with on the fly where you should put your Overgrowth spell. For instance, what should you do on this base? It's the same as the last one. 2 sweepers facing the back end. What do you do? Well, I'm going to just get the Eagle and get the sweepers, but I'm not going to take out the back end. So I'm going to go into this back end of the base here. With the Super Dragons and still fight the defenses there, but not the sweepers as well. I decided this was the best approach. So in this video, I'm going to show you a wide variety of approaches, because there is more approaches you can do with Super Drags now than you could previously, but there is so much figuring out on the fly what to do, because your Super Dragons are going to behave differently every time. For instance, some of the time they might not be in the positions they are right now, and you're going to have to decide where you want to put your second Overgrowth spell. I was not meaning to get the Eagle there. Unfortunately, I did. But I did want to do this because, look, all the Super Dragons are going to go on the top side here, and I'm going to have them deal with the Town Hall. You don't really want to ever get the Town Hall with your second Overgrowth spell if you're doing it one at a time. Look at this, Rage and Freeze, and these Super Dragons are going to take down the Town Hall really nicely here, just in time before the tangled defenses come back to life. There they go. And right here, I'm going to show you why I do prefer the Seeking Shield than the Royal Gem. The Royal Gem's nice in terms of the extra DPS, but if you want the maximum value of it, you've got to pop the RC ability when she's lowish on health to get that health recovery. But here, I wanted to get that RC ability down as quickly as possible so that she could go through these defenses. And the Seeking Shield, doesn't matter when you use it, if it's early, late, doesn't matter, it's always going to get value. Worth saying, by the way, with my queen, I am running the frozen arrow. That's because I've got a level 1 healer puppet. I do think the healer puppet is better, but you can still make the frozen arrow work with air spam attacks. But yeah, right there is why I like the Seeking Shield. It does the 10,000 damage, but it also weakens the defenses, which means the RC is moving quicker in that haste, which is really, really nice rather than getting bogged down on those high hit point defenses. But not everything is always perfect. So you see, we are quite zoomed out there, but the Flame Flinger's up here. I'll zoom out and tell you what I was thinking. So I wanted to use the Flame Flinger here, because obviously Flame Flinger is really nice, just to take out the back end of the base. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Overgrowth spell here, Heroes over here, to push the Super Dragons into the core. We might have one go this way, but get them all into the core nice and well funneled. And then because the Flame Fling is taking out the back end, the base should roll down. But I'm going to show you one of the weaknesses with, yet again, Super Dragons. Even if you use the Overgrowth spell, doesn't mean necessarily they're going to path that well. So we get the Sweepers, Monolith, you name it. I don't get the single Infernos. I must have decided I wanted to attack those. But have a look here, right? I've set a pretty good funnel, but we are going to get a perfect split. And now some of the time you do want to split, but this early in the attack I do not, because look, I'm sending my Super Dragons into multiple single Infernos, and now look at this. There are 3 Super Dragons going towards the Town Hall. I probably wanted 1 to go there to deal with the Town Hall, because 1 Rage, 1 Freeze is enough. But look, we've still got 3 Super Dragons up in the core, but the defenses are going to start wrecking them. They're still pathing horrifically as well, going straight through the middle. The funnel was just slightly too tight here. The heroes, my own heroes, probably weren't necessary. I could have saved them for the back end. And look at this. I've already used my Royal Champion on the top side, and this hit's going to be a big fail. I wanted to show you this attack to show you that, yes, the Overgrowth spell can be nice, but whether I'd use it in Legends League, I still haven't decided yet, because it is really hard to come up within 30 seconds where you should use not just 1, but 2 of them. It is better with 2 than 1, but it's the sort of thing that if you can plan a war hit, it is really nice. If you're not planning it though, we've still got a long way to come with our understanding of this Overgrowth spell before we can consistently get 3 stars. In terms of Siege Machine, ring bases are mostly the same. You can use the blimp if you want, I understand that, but I just really like using the Flame Flinger. It doesn't have to get insane value, it's just got to get rid of an air defense and a few buildings on the corner to either get rid of back-end defenses or make the funnel easier for your Super Dragons. For instance, have a look at how wide this funnel would be if I hadn't used the Flame Flinger. So we are going to come in on this side, heroes are going to funnel out the top section. Now, unfortunately, my Flame Flinger is next going to target the cannon. If it targeted the Mortar or the Multi-Inferno, that would have been perfect, because I could have used the Giant to tank and the Archer and Barb. For the record, I don't mind if the Mortar hits my Flame Flinger once. I'm not expecting it to live its whole lifetime. I just want it to get rid of 4 or 5 defenses and make a really nice funnel for us. But you're going to see here that, yep, the Flame Flinger is in range of that Expo. Never what you want to see. Never what you want to see. Plus this Baby Dragon, I don't know if you saw it well, pathed completely the wrong way. I was meant to do what this Super Dragon ended up doing, but alas, not. Now, I had the genius idea to use the Overgrowth spell a second late. If I used it a second earlier, that Flame Flinger maybe survives a little bit longer, but alas, here we are. So we have the Super Drags coming in. Now, something I haven't talked about in this video, and something that I've learned from the 2 days of using this army, is where you use your rage spells is important. Let's say, hypothetically, I used my first rage spell here. These Super Dragons that are here are going to take down these buildings quicker than the Super Dragons will take down these buildings, which means these goes down sooner. The Super Dragons path towards the outside of the base. Whereas if I use the rage spell here, sorry, I'll get rid of that. If I use the rage spell on the left side, these buildings go down quicker and I get more Super Dragons go towards the Town Hall. Now, some of the time you want more towards the Town Hall, some of the time you don't, because that means more Super Dragons go and die in that Town Hall poison. But in this case here, I did want a few more to go to the Town Hall, and look at how nice that pathing is. We get all of them into the core of the base. Couldn't have planned it better myself. So, especially when you've only got 3 rage spells with this army, think of how you use them. It's not just to do the extra damage, it's also to funnel your Super Dragons. So we've come in here. By the way, I've used the second overgrowth spell in almost the exact same spot. I just made sure I froze that second sweeper, or tangled the second sweeper, sorry. King's going to deal with this air defense on the back end, which is huge. And now I'm sitting on a bunch of spells. Yet again, I've put my RC with the super dragons, and we're going to overwhelm the back of the base together. I freeze the eagle once, and then look at this. RC ability. Unfortunately, she deals with those skelly traps, but that's fine. And yeah, the haze vial and the... and the fox is insane. Now, would it be nice here to have the extra hit points? Sure, but I don't think it would have been better than the Seeking Shield. Seeking Shield weakening all these high hit point buildings. And when my RC is only going to be alive for 40 seconds, yes, there are passive stats with the Royal Gem in terms of the extra damage, but my RC is never going to be attacking enough buildings for it to make up for 7,000 to 10,000 damage that the Seeking Shield can do. Now, this ends up getting quite close, but Super Dragon's so good at finishing off the base, and we get that ring base down. We're going to finish the video with one final ring base. And we're going to talk about, yet again, some of the pros of this army, but I want to focus more on some of the cons. And we've talked about a few of them, but the main one being, it's just really hard to plan out. Particularly on ring bases, there is no set formula for ring bases. I am slowly figuring out some of the formulas for box bases that you've seen in the video today, but ring bases are entirely base dependent. So we're using the flame flinger on the bottom. We've got the king on the top side. So I'm going to pause this just for a second and talk about what I'm thinking. You see these two sweepers facing the back end of the base here, and I want to take advantage of that. So we're going to use the overgrowth spell to get all of this. Heroes are going to walk down here, get the eagle as well, and then we're going to come in from the super drags over there, and we're going to have a really, really tight funnel. On top of that, you've got the flame flinger down the bottom. We'll hopefully send the super dragons back into the core of the base for the back end. So king and queen on the top side doing their thing are gonna come in a second. We use the overgrowth spell, and away we go. So we got the super drags there. Now, I definitely should have spread these super dragons out more, and you'll see why in a second. I make a few mistakes, including where I put my rage spell. So the super drags, at this stage, it's looking good, but look at this rage spell. It's towards the center rather than towards the outside, which means those super dragons catch up, and one of them transfers more towards the outside of the base. But right here is my problem with the army. What do you do here? So I was trying to get the sweepers again in the back of my mind, but I forgot that I was tangling the town hall as well. I think the best thing would have been to get rid of the eagle and just those two multi-arch towers. But yeah, I make a tactical mistake here. I miss one of the multi-arch towers, and on top of that, we make the town hall invisible. And at this point, I'm raging the super dragons, and I'm going, oh, oops. So yeah, I make fatal mistakes with this as well. We use the skeleton spell to tank the single. That's doing a good job. But look at all these super dragons on the outside. And that's mainly because both of my rage spells have been in the core of the base, and it pushes the super dragons towards the outside. My queen finally goes down. Unfortunately, she didn't go inside the base. She ran around the outside, unlike the king, who did a pretty good job. Now, you're going to see the RC on the top side here. And at this point, I'm using the Royal Gem. I did not use the Seeking Shield. This was the final attack I used the Royal Gem, because I need the Seeking Shield to do that damage so the RC has a chance to burn through those major defenses. But unfortunately, she goes down before getting 2 buildings down. Really, really unfortunate. I did kind of screw her over, sending her into a monolith. I should have sent her with these super dragons, but I wanted to get the monolith down so the super dragons had a chance, but alas, we did not. Now, in this video, I didn't really show, we did a super drag attack in the, what was it, the 3rd sneak peek, where you use both of the overgrowth spells simultaneously on either side to funnel them through the middle. That can still definitely work, and you can try that on ring bases, but I've been trying more unique approaches to give you guys an idea. So let me know down in the comments below, am I attacking like an idiot? Is there something better I could be doing? But one thing's for sure, I do really like this combination. I expect super drags to be strong this season. I don't know if they will be strong with the overgrowth spells or not. I think they will be, but it's up to you guys. What army are you using this season? Let us know down below.